Hey guys, I know most of the time I talk about, being a leader and judging your heart and checking your fruit and how to grow the things that you want in your life so that you react the proper way when situations go down or, you're able to take action and that you're not hindered by all of these things from your past and things like that. But something else that I've been thinking about for a few days is not only are we all leaders, we are all following someone. We're all following people. And I know in this day and age with like social media and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all of these things, I hear more stuff at school from the kids that I teach about people they've never met before. And they talk like they're actual literal best friends, like they got off the phone with this person last night and this is exactly what's going on in their lives. And I have to tell them, like, you're not seeing the full story. You're seeing the story that they produced and put out there for you to see, but that does not mean that it's the truth necessarily. And I had a few instances I think I've mentioned before where I watched people completely fabricate things for social media, and it was like unnecessary things. It wasn't even like a big thing that they did to put on social media, but it was one of those like defining moments in my life where I'm like, wow, like literally nothing that people post matters, right? And because, okay, so here's the situation. Like this one particular person I saw, they went out on their back porch and they lived on the lake and it was a really pretty view. And they unboxed like a whole package of custom designed cookies and laid them out on a tray and set a coffee and set their Bible and set this stuff and took a picture and posted something about, just a beautiful day in the morning with my Bible study, whatever. And then they came back in the house and they put all of the cookies back in the individual little plastic bags and sealed them and put them in the box and put it in the cupboard, and then put their things down and then sat at the kitchen table with a robe on, with a towel on their head, drinking coffee out of a plastic cup. And I was like, that was like 30 minutes worth of work to get a picture that wasn't even realistic. Like it would have been if you had sat on the deck and ate the cookie and drank the coffee and actually done a Bible study overlooking the lake, but it was just this whole setup for something to put on Instagram and then just to put it all back up and sit in the house and not do any of the things that picture portrayed. And another time, there was a girl who, it was their anniversary or birthday or something, I don't remember, but she logged into her husband's Facebook, wrote a post to her on Facebook about, oh my gosh, I love you so much, blah, 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 you're the best ever, and then logged out of his Facebook, logged into her Facebook, and responded to her own post and said, oh my gosh, I love you so much, babe, you're so sweet. Like, he didn't write that. You wrote that. What was that even for? What was the point of that? And so watching those two things really close in time to each other, I was just like, so basically, nothing that you see really has any bearing. You don't know the real story. You don't know what's really happening in these people's lives, and they post all of these things, and then we get to comparing ourselves and our stories, and oh, I don't have a guy who talks to me like that. She didn't either. I don't have a beautiful place I can go and sit. She didn't use it either. Like there's so much behind the scenes in everything you see that you don't know the story of. And if you're following these people and you're trying to attain this level and you're trying to have what they have and get the right vibe and get the right stuff, and you put all this pressure on yourself and your kids. I see people sometimes, especially like out places like at pumpkin patches and things, and they will just be losing it on their kids trying to get this perfect little picture to put on the social media and stuff, which I'm not saying you can't post pictures of your kids. I do it. My kid does something cute and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute, I just want to share it. So I'm not saying everybody's posts are not true. Some of them are. Some people just really enjoy life and take pictures and post them. That's great. What I'm saying is you cannot look at their life on their social media and somehow feel less than or feel left out or feel like, oh, my kids would never take a picture like that, or my husband would never treat me like that, or because you don't know the real story. Maybe they're just faking it all. Maybe it's real and that's great, but it shouldn't affect you. And so you have to be very careful who you're following. Who are you looking at? Who are you spending the most time studying, right? I know Terry Spell talks about, there was someone, I don't remember which leadership guy, was talking about all these big people that he, oh, this person said this and this and this, like he was hanging out with all these people, and then he said, I've never met them, I just listen to their tapes and read their books and stuff. And that's, if you're spending so much time focused on and following and studying and thinking about and how can I be like that person, you spend so much time focusing on these things, that is the direction that your life is headed. And so it might just be, you know, you might be spending all of your time on something that's completely superficial because you don't really know the whole story. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to better yourself or wanting to have cute family photos where you all match and whatever. There's nothing wrong with it as long as it's not being used to make you feel less than, because your story is different and their story may not even be what you think it is. And so I just want you to take some time and analyze this week. And I know it's hard to step back and really see, because like I didn't think this was a problem for a long time until some update on my phone started sending me messages about how many hours a day I'm on my phone. And you know, a lot of it is podcasts and things like that, but when you realize how many hours a day your attention is taken by seeing all of these things other people are putting out there, it kind of puts things into perspective, and you have to really be able to step back and analyze your life and see, who am I following right now? Who am I trying to be like? What am I trying to achieve? Because if it's something based on something that's not even real, it's going to be very difficult to get there. And so just be really careful who you're following, and make sure, for sure, that at least one, right, at least one of the top 5 things is God, you know, the Bible. A minister who really speaks to you right now, who's saying things that you need to hear, who's challenging your way of thinking so that you can grow and become something different. Podcasts about leadership and about how to attain the thing. I know, you know, there's podcasts for everything. There's podcasts about how to be a good secretary, you know, how to answer the phone well, how to do online sales, how to do, there's so much stuff out there that we could be using to learn and to grow in what we're actually trying to do, instead of trying to take this perfect picture in front of some pumpkin somewhere and our kids are just having a bad day, and then, you know, the whole build up, because you're trying to, so many kids today just want to go viral, just want to do whatever it takes, and it's like, but if you're not that person, then it still won't fulfill you. Even if you get that photo and millions of people like it, if the real story behind the photo was a huge fight and a bunch of stress and a bunch of feeling like you aren't good enough, but the picture did well. I look back at pictures sometimes from times in my life that I thought that I was doing okay, but then I look at the picture and I remember, somebody took that picture right after a fight, or somebody took that picture and I did not even have fun there, you know, like, so when you look at the picture, you don't see the success and all the likes, you remember the feeling. And so you don't want to end up somewhere with this perfect life on Instagram while everything behind the scenes is crumbling. You want to actually be the person who is happy and does enjoy life and does love their family and does love their kids, and you know, really are proud of them, or whatever it is, so that when you look at the pictures, you don't just see the likes, you see the fun, happy memories, you know. So just something to keep in mind this week. Not only are we leading, we're following, and who we follow matters. Are they leading us closer to God? You know, the Bible says to follow those who through faith and patience inherit the promises. If they are going somewhere with their life, if they are obtaining things, if they're, you know, successful and helping you to be successful also, that's great. You know, you just want to make sure we're not just following people that we're jealous of or who create insecurities or anything like that, because we just don't have time. We're only on this earth for a limited number of years, and I don't want to waste a bunch of mine, you know, mad at my kid because he won't pose for a picture properly, or whatever the case may be. So just give that some thought this week. Spend some time with God and just see if you can come up with your list. Who are your 5? What are the top 5 people that you aspire to be like, that you spend time learning from and focusing on, and trying to use their knowledge and their wisdom to also have success in your life. And so that's my challenge for this week. I'm praying for you guys, and I am just looking forward to continuing to grow and to get everything in my world to that place where life is just so great and everything that God has intended it for it to be. And I will see you guys next week.